Welcome to Girl Into the Chat. I'm your girl, Malibu Jada, where we talk about every single thing. Every little thing you could think of. Welcome to the chat room. And as you see by today, we're going to talk about why are people so worried about you being 25 to 30, living at your parents' house. But before I get in, I got my wine for today because it's Wednesday. So I said, let me drink a little something in this podcast because I definitely got the feathers rumbling. I posted this TikTok. I'm going to let y'all watch this TikTok as I drink this. Why do people make it a big deal when 25-year-olds to 30-year-olds are still living with their parents? I don't see it as a big deal. I mean, everybody's journey is different. For me, I live on my own now, but a year ago, I was at my mom's house. And even though I was at my mom's house, I was saving my bread. I was pursuing in things. I was helping my mother. I was helping my mother pay bills. Like, I was still doing things. I wasn't just laying there. And I feel like people think, oh, when you're at your parents' house, you could be lazy. No. I feel like if you're still at your parents' house, you need to be pursuing in something or helping them. Because God forbid anything happens to your parents, you're fucked. But I also feel like, too, sometimes it's good to go learn and be on your own. That way you learn how to manage bills. You learn how to pay rent. That's just my opinion. How y'all feel about it? Let me know. All right. Now that y'all got the basics of what we're talking about today, let me tell you my opinion, and then let me know in the comments what y'all think. And I'm going to tell y'all what other people thought too. Because y'all, my TikTok is at 10K views with a million comments right now about this topic. So let me tell you my story, and then I'm going to tell you my opinion. So for me, if you didn't watch the first episode, go watch. But in the first episode, I explained I moved out of my mom's house when I was 22 years old because of a disagreement that we had. I moved out at 22. I was out of my apartment for a year, and then I moved out July of 2024. I was with my mom from 24, and then 24 to 25, and then I moved into my new apartment in 2025. Now, me and my mom, we have a great relationship, but sometimes us being under the same roof, we can go bumping heads. So that's why I personally moved out. Now, when I was living with my mom, I made sure I helped her out. Anything that she needed, I helped her out. Whether it was getting food for the cats, whether it was getting cleaning supplies, whether she needed money for like the electric bill or the gas bill, whatever bill, I helped her. Because I personally feel like if you're still at your parents' house, you need to be paying something. Don't be giving them cheap change. I mean, hey, if your parents allow you to live with them and you don't gotta pay nothing, that's good for you. But for me, I just can't see my mother struggling while I'm laid up in her house doing nothing. And that's another thing too. Every time I moved back with my mom, I made sure I was doing something. I wasn't laying on my butt every day. I either went to school. I either went to work. I was doing something. You gotta have some type of motion. You can't just be sitting at your parents' house mooching off of them. Because how is that gonna show you any real responsibility? Now, here's my opinion. I kind of got into my opinion, but like I said, I feel like if you are 25 to 30, you should be paying something to your parents. And it shouldn't be chump change. Don't be giving them no 300, 500. Have y'all seen this economy? This economy is expensive, okay? Like, even for my rent, utilities, I'm literally spending $2,000 a month on utilities, bills, and my rent. But I know how to manage all my stuff. Now, if you want to go home and save your money so you can either move out or just save your money to buy a house, that's good. You gotta have motivation. I feel like a lot of people judge people for doing that because there's like a social media thing of, oh, when you're 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, you're supposed to be on your own. But one, this economy sucks. Two, everything is expensive. And three, nobody wants to be living check to check. Me, myself, I like living on my own. I got the taste of it when I first moved into my own apartment. And I just knew I want to live on my own. Like, that was just something I just knew I wanted to live on my own. So when I had to move out my first apartment and go to my mom's, I instantly had the motion in my head like, okay, I need to save up my money, do what I gotta do, and move out. And by the grace of God, I was able to go to Bali and move into my apartment. Okay? By the grace of God, my holy savior, I was able to do that. Because I had the motion in my brain. I had that. Okay? God pushed me to that. You feel me? So that's why I feel like when it comes to this, it's a very sticky situation. Because I feel like the only reason why you should really move out your parents' house is if you really want to. If your parents and you don't have a really good relationship, if the environment you're in is not motivating you to do better. Because some of us live in environments where it doesn't make us better, it kind of makes us fall back. You know what they say, the people that you hang around could either push you or pull you. And also too, like, I just feel like there's no really age limit to leaving your parents' house. I feel like they did that back in the day, because back in the day it was cheaper. Back in the day it was like nothing. Nowadays, everything's expensive. Everything is going up. Gas is going up. Rent's going up. Everything's going up. So it's just like, you have to worry about yourself, one. And two, like I said, if you plan on moving out, make sure that you're saving up and you got motion that you want to do this. Now, some parents I've seen comment on my post was saying that they never want their kids to leave. That they never want their kids to leave. That they want their kids to stay under them forever. But I just feel like personally, now y'all can try to stab me in the neck for it. I don't care. People say that you can still build your independence. Yes, you can. But I feel like trying it, and it's best to try to live on your own when your parents are still alive, or whoever your guardian is, because some people have lost their parents. Whoever is your guardian, it's best to try to do the independence, moving out, paying rent things when your guardian is still here. That way, if it doesn't work out, you got somewhere to fall back on. Because, you know, knock on wood, everybody's hourglass is ticking. You never know when you're about to be done off this earth. And it's like, if your parents already don't have it set up for you to, you know, have their house or have their Section 8, then what are you going to do? You're going to be confused. Like, there's some people who are blessed where their parents are leaving their, you know, houses to them. Some parents don't have houses. There's some parents who have apartments. And you could probably leave your apartment to your kid. But is your kid going to be mentally ready for that responsibility? Like me. I kid y'all not, y'all. An apartment. I love me a good apartment right now at my age. I'm only 25. I love me an apartment because if any maintenance happens, I just call maintenance. With a house, you gotta pay for that. I don't gotta pay for them to fix my dryer. I don't gotta pay for them to fix my, you know, refrigerator. Like, I guess some people don't want to live in an apartment because literally in an apartment you can pay for a house. But for me personally, I'm not responsibly ready for a house. I'm not ready to mow my own lawn. I'm not ready for all that. That's why I'm like, you gotta be mentally ready. It's just like a lot of people's like, oh yeah, I want a house. How you want a house? Have you even went out and did it on your own for an apartment? Because you got to make sure those bills are on top. Now, you going home back to your parents' house, you got to be in school. You got to be wanting to save up money. Because regardless, you're going to have to pay something. I feel like you just have to pay something for your parents. Like, ain't no way you using your parents' light bill. Ain't no way you using their water. Ain't no way you using all their stuff. You not paying them nothing. And don't pay, like I said, don't pay them no chump change. Like, no $300. No. You can't do that. And I feel like for me, I'm just saying, I ain't got no kids. But you definitely should be paying extra if you got children living under your mother's house or your father's house or whoever's house. Because kids add on to bills. Like I said, I know there's some parents who have allowed their children and their children to live with them. And that's fine, you know. But like I said, me personally, I just feel like you should come to a bare minimum of at least paying something. Because sooner or later, you're going to own something. That's why I feel like, again, there's no age limit to moving out your parents' house. But what's your end goal? You know, I feel like if you're sitting at home not paying a bill, God forbid anything happens to your parents, you're gonna have to learn how to start paying a bill. Like for me, my first bill I started paying by myself was literally my phone bill. I started paying my little phone bill when I was like 14, 15 years old because I wanted an iPhone. And my parents had Metro PCS. Yeah, Metro PC shit. And I wanted an iPhone. And the only iPhone I really could have got was under T-Mobile. And my father said to me, he said, you get off my line, you're going to have to pay for your own phone bill. And I was already working. Like, I've been a go-getter since a chick, you feel me? So, it's like, okay, I had to make sure my phone bill was paid. And there was times when my phone got turned off. There was times where I couldn't meet the phone bill. But it taught me, like, okay, I gotta make sure I have this money ready for my phone bill. I gotta make sure I have this, make sure I have that, you feel me? And that's what I'm saying, like, having bills builds character, because it's allowing you to learn. Like, if your parents already got a setup that you're gonna have their house when it's their time to go to the kingdom, that's cool. That is cool. But you gotta understand, now you're not gonna have your parents paying. Now you're gonna be paying. Are you gonna be able to manage those bills? Ain't gonna be going out with the ladies on Friday, traveling into here and there. Like, this is stuff I mentally think about all the time because life is moving. Life is moving. But I feel like there's not an age limit when you should leave your parents' house. If your parents are comfortable with you being there, cool. Okay, because I know, like, some people's dating preference is like, oh, I want a man with his own car. I want a woman with her own place. Blah, 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 blah. But it's like, you can't have those preferences if you ain't doing that. I have always said to my friends, you can't expect a man or a woman to have certain things if you don't got it. I'm gonna say this again. You can't expect a man or a woman to have certain things if you don't got it. You can't expect a man to have a car and you don't got a car. You can't expect a man to have his own place and you don't got his own place. And you don't got your own place. You see where I'm going here? It's like, we want to do better. You want to be a better person. And that's why I feel like you're building independence when you leave home. Okay? So, let's get into some of the comments that people have said and let's talk about it. Because, girl, into the chat, because we really about to get in it right now. So, I really want to read what my oldest cousin said, because what she said was very valid. She said, absolutely not. My daughters will be able to stay with us for as long as they need to or want to. I really don't see it as living with your parents at that age. We all live together because we're all helping out with bills, rent, etc. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. And like I said, if you're helping your parents out with rent and bills, that's what's up. Because like I said, it's going to teach you when it's your time to do so. Because again, your parents are going to leave you one day. So if you're already learning how to pay bills on time and rent on time, then good. Good, you know? And it really, like she said, it depends on the person, you know? She said a lot of parents go by when their child or children turn 18, they got to go live on their own. And I always try to figure out, like I said, I don't know what I said. I lost my train of thought. All right, y'all. So let's go to TikTok, because TikTok is where it's at.
Characters have been playing.
I've been getting so many messages. Now my post is at 14.k.
What?
So some people said it's too expensive. I want a roommate for the first time ever. I'm about to be 30 in July and I still live with my parents. I don't blame them. It's too expensive. Save, help your parents get your own place. I'm not leaving my mom's house until I can afford my house. I don't want an apartment. I give my mom money weekly though. I pay all my own bills. This method is actually smart because I'm saving so much by staying home. Plus, I have extra money to travel and some more. I like it, and whoever doesn't, I don't know. I'm 30 and live with my grandma. We are besties. I am in no rush to leave. It's very simplistic American mindset. Okay, we getting deep. My father's from Europe, and it's normal to live with your parents until 30. Sometimes more. Same with my family from the Appalachian Mountains. Okay, y'all, so let's get into it. So do y'all think it's an American thing where like parents are like, at 18, you're on your own. Okay, you out. Da, 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 da. Because this person said in Europe, you normally stay with your family till you're 30. Okay, let's get into it. I don't even care what people think no more. I'm moving back to my mama's house and staying there forever. I'm an only child. The house is gonna go to me anyway, so might as well put the money towards fixing it than trying to impress others and buy my own. Period. Okay. And that's too. It's like if you're the only child and your parents got a house, I feel like you should stay. Because at the end of the day, you know their house is going to go to you. Some people are blessed to get a house and some people are blessed or not. Let's keep it going. I lived with my parents until 30, not paying anything but my phone, CC bill, and card note. Now I moved out into my own townhouse and wish I had stayed with them. See? That's why I feel like personally, you should help your parents pay with rent and stuff, because now look, she moved into her own townhouse. But she wished she would have stayed with him because she wasn't paying rent. She was only paying 3 things. But I want a townhouse too, girl. Okay, let's go. I'm about to move home in June and have a ball. I can't wait. I'm tired of it. About to get my life together real quick and leave right back out. Nothing wrong with living with your parents as long as you have a plan and goals to pursue, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. One thing my sister said that stuck with me, that I choose to struggle, MFAO. I could be home saving, living in luxury. If you are reading this, thinking about going home to rebuild your life, do it. Not everyone has this option, unfortunately, but take advantage of it. If you have the option to go home and save, do as so. But again, I just feel like you need to help your parents. Like if your parents are struggling to pay these bills, you better help your parents. But also go home and save. You better be saving, because there's people that live with their parents that don't save. There's people that live with their parents that spend their money wildly. Okay, let's get into some more. 33 and I will forever be living with my sisters. We can't and won't ever be able to afford separate. Okay, how do you feel about living with like your siblings? I've done it before, and me and my sister, it was cool. But I was younger and I was single. So I don't know how it would be now that I got a man. I kind of got my own little stuff going on. But how y'all feel about living with siblings? Get into some more. As someone who lives on their own, people have to understand that the economy now is not the same economy from 10 to 15 years ago. Rent is no longer $800 to $1,000. Everything is insanely expensive just for the basics. Save up, take your time. I'm 27, going back to college. I'm grateful that I have my parents are allowing me to save money and just work on life right now. Nothing is embarrassing about that, especially in this economy. If I had spoke to my parents in 21 years, I'll be living with them. Girl, you better go speak to your parents. I lived with my family until I was 33. It wasn't how I pictured my life, but God used it for so many good things, especially after I found myself unemployed. That's definitely a reason to go back with your parents. I'm not moving out until I get all 3 of these degrees, period. I just turned 22, so I don't know if it counts. A lot of people my age still live with their parents, including me. But I don't plan on moving no time soon. My parents always tell me and my brother, we're both 20 and 22. They always tell us stay as long as we can, have a good job, or go to college to save money. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you could live with your parents, but you got to be doing something. Doing something. Every time I bring up possibility wanting to move out, my mom reminds me of the economy and put in savings in case something happens to my old first car. I want to be out on my own, but I'm also glad for my mom to understand it. So there are people that want to be out on their own, but then you have your parents that's like, no, stay. And I feel like sometimes parents don't want you to leave because they don't want to be lonely. They don't want to be lonely. I'll never forget when I first moved out, it didn't hit my mom until I moved out again. She said that she was upset, kind of, that I was moving out again because she got so used to me being there and that she was afraid to be alone. Some parents are just lonely. They don't want you to leave. Some people said until 30 is a little crazy. That's what some people said. Some girl said, I don't know, I've been living by myself since I was 18, willingly. I feel like if you could do it, do it. I feel like if you could do it, do it. Like, for me, that's how I felt. Like, if I could do it, I'm gonna do it. You feel me? But that's all I have to say about this situation. What do y'all think? Put y'all thoughts in the comments right now into the chat room and tell me what's up. Because I want to know, should you be 25 through 30 living with your parents? Or y'all like, nah, this economy suck booty and I'm living with my parents till I die. And I respect it. But just make sure your moms and pops are taken care of. Because if they take care of you, you need to take care of them. Period. And the chat room is closed. Bye. It's not closed. Go in the comments and say what y'all need to say. Bye.